What's up, man? It's your boy Marcel. People like checking in with another episode of the Really Outchea Podcast. Man, been rocking. I think this is our seventh episode, which is the God number. You know what I'm saying? So it was only right. I had to reach out to my Midwest kinfolk. You know what I'm saying? I'm the country cousin, but when I come up to the Midwest, when I come to Chi-Town, you know what I'm saying? This is one of the brothers. I always make sure I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? So this is Mr. D Nick of the Microphone Misfitz. How you doing, good brother?
I'm good, brother, and yourself.
Man, I maintained it, bro. It was cold and rainy today, and I was like, "Fuck the gym, fuck going to kickboxing." You know what I'm saying? I, all I had was class at 1 o'clock, and we was preparing for a quiz. So today, I have no shame in my game to say I got back up under the covers and cut on some Law and Order SVU and took a great nap. You know what I'm saying? Something I ain't really like. It's been real hectic, so I ain't really took no naps like talk about. But today, I feel like I earned my nap, so I got it in today. As you see, man, I got my Chicago hat on, you know what I'm saying, for you and the brothers today. I need to get a misfit hat, you know what I'm saying? I might get one of them hats from y'all.
Yeah.
So the first question I always ask every single guest, do you remember how we met?
Yes, I do. We met. Well, first I heard about you. Like when we booked the show, I heard about you through Alfred. Um, because I believe that we were going on tour with Megaran following you guys were just getting off tour with Megaran and y'all had to stop in Chicago. And I don't know, man, it was online where I met Alfred and he was just like, yo, man, how you hear about me? And da 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 da. So we chopped it up and then he was like, me and my boy Marcel P. Black, we got a show in Chicago. Y'all wanna get on the bill? I was like, sure, for sure. And then, Mel is cousins with Kamikaze, and he was like, oh man, them my boys, and da 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 da. Make sure y'all take care of them, and look out for them, da da da. So Kamikaze was on that tip, and then we met y'all at man, I don't even think it's still
I guess
happening.
the elbow room, I
The
think.
elbow room, elbow. I was about to say empty bottle, but yeah, it was the elbow room. We met y'all at the elbow room, man, and it was just like, oh snap, these cats is just like us. You know what I'm saying? So, it was cool. And, I have a, I'm from the organization Hip Hop Congress. And so I have a Hip Hop Congress ethic where somebody is like out of town, you know what I'm saying, from out of town, especially an indie artist, you look out for them. You take care of them. You make sure nobody try to mishandle them. Hip Hop Congress is almost like an unofficial union for us. Like sometimes, promoters might, have enough for the show, but they don't have enough to cover your lodging or anything like that. So it's just like the Hip Hop Congress way was like if anybody from Hip Hop Congress is in your town, you let them crash with you, or you look out for them, you get them a safe place to stay or something like that. So I've done it with mad Bay Area artists, and they've done it with us, and that's just how I kind of. So I have, not even just me and the fellas, we have that ethic. So with y'all, we was like, all right, we got them. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all was good brothers, man. And like the set was incredible. Like
Word.
I was like, yo, man, like this dude can rap, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, I was like, yes. I think I was, me and Ray was joking, because I was more P Black fan, and we fucked with both of y'all, but I was more of a P Black fan, and Ray was kind of more trendy, so he was more rocking with Banks, and then Mel a country boy at heart, so he was rocking with you. So and then I'm your CD, I forget which one, but that the one before the
Cry freedom.
man, that stayed in Mel car forever.
That's what he said. So like I remember, so just context, man. So like 2017 was like the year I really got serious about touring. Up before that, I was just pretty much staying in like the Gulf states, and then kind of, then I would, get up to like Tennessee and Oklahoma. But I told myself I wanted to do 15 states. And so by the time because I came in December of 2017. So so Chicago made 16 and St. Louis made 17. So I'd already fulfilled it, but I couldn't get any Midwest dates. I could not get booked in the Midwest that, while I was really pushing the 15 states, right? And I was like, man, Alfred, I was like, bro, I did my 15, but I still want to hit, every region, because I did go to Oakland. I did go to, did I go to Oakland? I don't know. I was trying to run together. I don't know if I went to Oakland that year or the next year anyways. But anyway, I did, I hadn't tapped into Midwest pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So right. I was really happy to be there. And so I remember I just came back from North Carolina, I want to say. And then so now it's time for us to head up there. And like me and Alfred, we've toured together every summer since 2012 at that point. And so like it was just something that because we started off like touring together because he was much younger, he had no car, I had the car, you know what I'm saying? And he had so pretty much we was split gigs, right? So like he would get a show in Alabama, but he might have a way to get there. I'd take him, we split the hotel, and he'd get like, let's say if he had like a 45-minute set, he'd give me 15, and we'd split the money. And vice versa. If I had a show in Tennessee, boom, 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 and we'd pop it off like that. And we pretty much did that up until like it didn't make sense for us to split $100 anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we both used to getting paid more. So we did that. And I want to say the last gig we did together was 2000, probably 18 when we did 2x2, but he's doing things, I'm doing my own thing too. So anyways, so we get to Chicago and we get to this venue, and the Elbow Room, and it's cool. And I remember like that show because Mike Bailey was there. Mike Logic. I'm calling him by his real name.
Mike Logic. Yeah. So and it's funny you say that because Mike Logic was like, "Oh, y'all doing the show with Marcel P. Black," and he knew you, and I was like, "Oh, where you know him?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, I did a show. He said he did a show with you, out in New Orleans or somewhere in the South, maybe Baton Rouge. And I was like, cool. And we never do this. We only do this on like if we want to look out or want to do special occasion. I was like, yo, man, we was added to this last minute. So we don't, we don't really have we didn't really have time to promote it for these brothers. Like if you help out with that, like man, I'll because he had just had a new single that dropped. I was like, yo, man, we'll let you rock your single in our set. And he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah, which is something we don't normally do. Like, not that we against it, we just don't normally do it. We don't usually let people go in the middle of our set because the Microphone Misfitz show is kind of a certain way. So he's so that was man, like you were the reason that he got on that show with us.
And the thing about it is so and I feel bad because I don't remember meeting him because so it's this dude who does the show, and normally I wouldn't do this type of gig, but he owed me. He owed me for another gig that got kind of messed up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he owed me. And so this is the next show he was going up, and it was a paid gig, you know what I'm saying? So I did the gig, but it was one of them shows where about 30 rappers, you know what I'm saying? And, it may be 5 of them are dope, you know what I'm saying? So I remember performing. Yeah, I remember performing and really just getting my stuff and getting my money and leaving. Mike says that he came and spoke to me and dapped me down. I really don't remember, so I really feel bad. You know what I'm saying? I really feel bad because I don't remember meeting him. But he said he saw me. He said he saw me. You know what I'm saying there. And so I remember getting to the venue, and the night was kind of it was interesting because you had the young dude Asar, whatever I think his name is Asar, Ausar or whatever. He's a young guy, and he's kind of doing some things like amongst like the younger artists doing hip hop in Chicago, at least from what I see on Twitter and things like that. Chris Crack pulled up.
All right. Right.
And Chris Pratt pulled up, and I remember getting there and like, you know, Alfred had planned everything, so I'm just showing up. We're gonna rap, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't fly together. He was already there, you know what I'm saying? So like, I got there, we pretty much had time to eat and go to the whatever. So I didn't really know what the play was. So I get there, and I see Mel. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm just coming to holler at you." He said, "Man, you know, Kamikaze is my first cousin," and he said, "You know, I could, you might have, one of you, it might have been you. You was like, I'll DJ your set." You know what I'm saying? I think it was you. You might have DJ my set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm just like, man, the brothers like the brothers showing love off the flap. And so I remember doing my thing, and it was interesting because one of Alfred's biggest fans is like an older white lady. You know what I'm saying? Because you know he raps a lot about like mental health and like her son. So it was like mad like 50-year-old white women in the room. You know what I'm saying? And like you know, it was to me the lineup was kind of strange between like I saw it being a younger dude, and then me kind of doing like the slower Southern conscious rap, and then you know what I'm saying with Mike, and then you know Alfred kind of turning up, and then y'all, and I'm saying this to say like I had no idea what to expect when I saw y'all. I had no, because it did like the space wasn't that big, and so y'all don't think y'all even got up on stage, like y'all came straight to the floor. And the space is not that big at all. Yeah. And I was like, yo, what am I watching? Like, what is like I had never seen nothing like this before. And I was just like, yo, these brothers here, like this something different. And like, you know, not about
we were half singing that day. We didn't have Jet, we didn't have Solo, we didn't have Defect. Yeah, it was just me, Mel, and Ray. We weren't even fully assembled.
But I'm like, yo, this dude is 6'5" breakdancer. He taller than me, and he breakdancing. He's waving his flag, and I'm just like, yo, like this is something different. This is something different. And we don't get to that in a second, but like y'all live show, y'all live show is amazing. But yeah, but like it was just a lot. It was just a lot, you know, that night specifically, I want to say it might have been like December. Yeah, I want to say maybe 15th to 16th. I remember because that next day was the coldest I'd ever been in my life. We like somehow I had price lined the hotel. And it was like downtown, and I got it really, really cheap, but it was like a really, really nice hotel, and it was right by the lake or whatever. And I remember, like, you know, like I told you the other day, I don't even own a big coat. You know what I'm saying? So like, all I had a hoodie and a bubble vest, and I was putting my bags in the back of the Uber, and that hawk came around the buildings, and like, you know what Way in the Water when they said chill my body but not my soul, this motherfucker chilled my body and my soul. I screamed out loud. I said, oh no. And it was only like to y'all, it was like 19 degrees, which to y'all is like, man, we playing basketball in this weather. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I was just like, oh no, like, you know, this ain't what my ancestors came over in the transatlantic slave trade for. Oh no, indeed. Like I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But look, so speaking of other cold places, man. You're originally from Flint, Michigan. So I always hear about people ask about what's it growing up in New York or growing up in LA, you know, finding hip hop. For you specifically, man, growing up in Flint, Michigan, what was hip hop like for you or what have you?
Man, I remember okay, so my Flint experience was a little different. Like people in Flint listen to everything, you know, there's people who listen to Backpack and all that stuff, but I just remember Flint is you know, and not to even take it lightly, and I hate saying this, but it is what it is. Flint is rough, man. It's a gangster ass city. You know what I'm saying? And it's a small city, which makes it even more like, you know, like rough. Like I remember seeing people's favorite rappers get beat up. I'll never forget. I went to a club. I ain't even gonna say his name, but there was a top 40 rapper that he likes to spell his name a lot, and he started disrespecting the city at a club, and he was like, you know, y'all pay me to be here, Flint. Y'all pay me to be here, Flint. And next thing you know, like a bottle hit him in the head. His one security grabbed him. The other security ran to him. They dogpiled him. And then somebody yelled, oh, yo, I got his gun. And that was the city, you know, like it was just kind of crazy. So I just remember like I remember being different and being weird. Like my boy, he's a singer. His name is Napoleon Demps. He on Dap Tunes. He was just like, yo, man, you was a different dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you was into different stuff. You know, like I remember getting clowned listening to Jurassic 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, you know, but also for me, like I was raised by my grandparents, you know, so I lived with my grandparents who were like, my grandmother was a housekeeper. So, and that was another thing about me, like I Flint is chocolate city. It's 65% black. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I remember going as a little boy, going and working with my grandmother when she was cleaning white folks' houses. And then when I got in the double digits, I'm working with my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? So my consciousness evolved like differently. And then my grandparents were born in 1921 and 1922. You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole generation that was skipped for me. So I felt like I understood why people, why kids of the 60s were the way they were. Like I got it. Like I got why things were, you know, because I lived with history. My grandfather was in World War II and he was silly. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a funny dude. And so I say that to say that with hip hop, I dug it because, you know, I like the stuff with the funk samples. Obviously, Midwest dude, like funk come from here. You know what I'm saying? So I was into like, oh, this sound like this that my mom listened to, that sound like this that my grandparents listened to. And you know, and I was really into digging I had a respect for history. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I understood the roughness of the city. I understood why I was like that at a young age. My grandfather used to make fun of me. He used to be like, you know, rest his soul. He'd be like, dang, boy, you like that little light skinned boy on good time.
You like Mike,
you know, like,
yeah.
like I remember getting called the nigga for the first time, and I remember my I remember my grandmother's boss, you know, sitting me down and like, you know, like he thought it was on him to talk to me about it. I'm a little boy. And he's just like, you know, do you know why some people say mean things, you know, Nick? And I was like, and I just looked at him and was like, yeah, fear of the Asiatic black man is real. You know what I'm saying? And it just doing, you know what I'm saying? I understood like white liberalism and how like I understand the nuances of stuff, you know. So I was really into history. So hip hop was kind of the thing that fed my history like love because I lived with history. I appreciated it. I knew it was I knew it was rare. I knew it was vital. I knew that my friends didn't know this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like casual stuff that like my grandparents had brought from the South, you know what I'm saying, to Michigan, and it was like rare, you know. So I understood it, man. So hip hop was a little different for me. I didn't start, you know, seriously rhyming until like I came here. Like, you know, I mean, I did it, like I freestyled and all this type of stuff, but you know, there was the Flint legends were all tough, like MC Breed and
Rest in peace
Top
to MC Breed,
Authority.
man. Yeah, rest in
Yeah,
peace to
you
MC
know,
Breed,
like
man.
the Dayton family, you know what I'm saying? Like these cats were serious. So I didn't know that what would be called backpack was even, you know, appropriate for somebody from somebody from Flint. And you know, that was, you know, it was it just was non-existent. You know what I'm saying? But I was always digging. And people were into everything. And you know, it's funny. I feel like there was a song on the I Got the Hookup soundtrack that featured Mystical and ODB. And And I used to feel like that was made for us in Flint because we used to fight all the time about who was better, No Limit or Wu-Tang. Like,
Oh wow.
that,
Oh wow.
that
Oh wow.
was, there was the Wu-Tang kids and there was the No Limit kids, and people used to fight all the time about that. You know, so it was cool, man. I got to listen to everything. That's the beauty of the Midwest, man. You get to experience everything and really understand, like, you know, where it really comes from without a bias. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's similar to Oklahoma, man. Like Oklahoma is south of the Mason-Dixon, but it's west of the Mississippi, and it's a southern state that didn't have like legalized chattel slavery. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so like culturally, you know, like in the '80s, you know, all the West Coast gangbangers moved to Oklahoma to sell crack, and so it has like a big West Coast influence. Where I'm from specifically, I'm 30 miles north of the Texas border and 100 miles north of Dallas. And so we have like a big Texas influence, you know what I'm saying? And then like if you go to like northern Oklahoma, like Tulsa and stuff like that, there's a big West Coast culture, but it is also like kind of leaning more towards the Midwest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the southern part of the Midwest, like you know, St. Louis and stuff like that or whatever. So it's so when Nelly came out, you know, we felt represented then too. So, you know, I get it. And like, so for me, you literally smack dab in the middle of the country, you know what I'm saying? That like encompasses, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So I definitely understand like having access. See, for me, like we didn't have no black radio station. So it was, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, black, they had one in Oklahoma City, had one in Dallas. So like Ardmore is like, it's like 100 miles north of Dallas, 100 miles south of Oklahoma City, right? And so like, this is where all the dope come through. So like, so drug dealers are dropping their music off or whatever, they leaving their influences. And then you know, so in Oklahoma City, like probably about maybe 45 minutes northwest. Don't get me wrong, my Oklahoma natives, I apologize. But you got Langston University, which is like the furthest west HBCU in the country. And so like a lot of people from all over the country, they come and then that whatever. So, you know, we had, so like I said, man, it was, but you know, it was Rap City and TV Raps and the Source and getting everything I could possibly get my hands on. And I too was like, you know, I like the hood shit, you know what I'm saying? Cause niggas are thugging. So but I was the weird backpacker too. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like where I was like, you know, the South definitely chose Tupac in the East West beef. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, you know,
Midwest too. We chose
everybody was pissed off in New York. I was the guy like, I like Biggie. I like, you know, and not even that, I like Black Moon. I like, you know what I'm saying? I like Smith and Wesson. I like, you know what I'm saying? I like Ill and Out Scratch. You know what I'm saying? Like I like you know, I definitely like felt the you know, like when I was coming up, the only East Coast rappers that my peers liked, they like DMX, they like Cameron, they like Mace. And you know what I'm saying? They like DMX because it reminded them of Tupac. You know what I'm saying? They like Cameron and Mace because they rapped a little bit slower. And so like they felt like, you know, they felt like Mace almost had like a southern drawl almost. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, because Mace was born in Jacksonville, Florida. You know what I'm saying? He's born in Florida. You know what I'm saying? But his people came up from Florida, so he kind of had like a drawl or whatever. And I ain't gonna lie, Cameron was just so damn ignorant. Like you like you know, like pre like SDE Confessions of Fire and SDE Cameron, like he was just so damn ignorant. But like Jay-Z, like big New York rappers ain't getting no love. Oh, they definitely wouldn't know. Biggie fans or whatever I was from. No, he got no love. I was the only one or whatever. But so I can definitely relate to like kind of
I was Tupac all day, man. Because Tupac came from Digital Underground, which is like was my favorite group, you know, like and I like groups, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like I'm 8 years older than my little brother. And I was disconnected from my big sister, you know. and my grandparents' home it was like a flop house. Everybody would come and live with us for a stint and then go. I was the only one of the kids that just always stayed. So
Gotcha.
I always yearned for, siblings and all of that type of stuff. I was like, I remember being mad that my little brother and me would never go to school together. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I felt like I was like, yo, man, I'm never gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I was alone, and you had to deal. Um, but yeah, but my cousins, were there, but it was always in stints. They would be with us for a couple months, and then they would go off, or they'd go back home, or they would go to jail, or they would, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Um, yeah, man, I think my cousin Meek, he was the first. He was in a group, and it was the first time I ever saw somebody live in person rap. He performed at University of Michigan Flint, and I was just like, like someone like we had Breed, but I was just like, okay, that's. I mean, not that he was whack, he was dope, but I was just like, all right, that's so out of the reach. That's an anomaly. But like my cousin Meek, man, and his boys, Chew and D Kent, like I was just like, they got a group. You know what I'm saying? And I was always partial to groups. I was always asking questions like, what happened to the DJ? I was, like, I was perplexed by what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
In hip hop. So I gravitated to older stuff, and because I love history, like I'm digging. But I'm always digging. Like I'm digging, and I felt like everything had a purpose and a presence. Again, I like groups, I like family. So I was, that was the seeds of the origins of what would eventually
Gotcha.
become the Microphone Misfitz.
Hey, so before I leave Flint, I gotta give a big shout out to Clarissa Shields. She's probably the baddest boxer on the planet that nobody gives her props because she's a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like she really is that good. She really be knocking people out. And I don't think she's lost a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't see her losing no time soon. Even if Layla Ali
No,
come out of retirement, like she's really that damn good. Um,
it don't matter.
right.
My brother met her. My brother met her, and I got a picture of her and my brother. Like, he was giddy as I don't know what.
Right. Yeah, so big shout out to her, man. Okay, so you leave Flint to go to Chicago for college, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
and in Chicago, you major in theater.
Theater.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's very interesting. That's very interesting. And you know what's really funny about it? Uh, when Mel tells me he's a theater guy, because I met Mel as the muscle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
and when he says he's a theater guy, and I'm just like, okay, I can see D Nick because he's talking and he's out in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? I can tell by your personality. You know what I'm saying? But I always think about it like damn. So just I mean, what made you interested? Before I go to my next question, what made you interested in like majoring in theater?
Um, man. So it before I left Flint, me and Mel had, we had a business. It was called D Nick and Mel L Productions, and we had a theater business. Cause like the illest thing about our high school, it had a national, world-renowned theater program, and
Mm,
I actually attribute basketball to my love for theater. You know,
hmm,
everybody in Flint rap was so far fetched. Like it wasn't even a dream. It was just like something I love. Hip hop was just something I love. But it was like you're gonna go to jail, you're gonna sell drugs, or you're gonna be good at basketball. My best friend to this day, he lived across the street from me. He was a basketball star. And, like we were at that age where people were kind of looking at us like, well, these your little hoodlum friends or whatever. And I was a square. I was never no trouble dude. But, you just round the hood and, you ain't like Urkelish. They going to be like, oh, he a hoodlum if you ain't doing nothing. And my boy, who was a basketball star, he was like, he told me, he was like, man, to get these people to care about you, you got to do something extra for the school. And I was like, okay. And something my grandfather used to tell me, he used to be like, boy, if you love that stuff as much as you do, you better figure out a way to make some money out of it. And, that was a gem my grandfather gave me. So that always stuck with me. And I was like, all right, I love TV, I love comics, I love this, I love hip hop and all this. Man, I'll do theater. Mel, me and Mel went to the same high school. He's a little older than me. I think my sophomore year was his 10th grade, or was his senior year. And he was like, he was, the older dude in theater. And, Mel used to have this fro, and he used to have a toothpick in his hair, in his fro, and he had this long fucking Morpheus coat. He used to walk around.
Oh wow.
And he has a huge family. Like he has a big family, really big family. And I think I did an audition, and I was just finna quit. I was just like, fucking. Mel was just like, he knew me from the neighborhood. Like we from the same area in Flint. So and I knew of him, but it was just like, oh man, that's a weird dude with the long trench coat, with the Morpheus coat. Like, leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? And he was just like, yo, man, like, man, fuck these people. Keep on trying. Like, he was like really like encouraging on some shit. Like, and I didn't know him. I knew of him, but we didn't really know each other like that. We knew each other's family. And the crazy thing is, we're technically family. You know what I'm saying? We didn't find that out until years later. So it started. I started doing theater. I got really good in performance, really good in writing and directing. Mel's graduated. He goes off to the Marines. I got a job in Flint at a gospel theater company. You know what I'm saying? And I randomly run in the mail. I was late for class at community college. Me and Mel both went to the applesauce college. We went to Mott, and I run into him and I give him a flyer real quick, and I'll be like, yo, what up, man? Here, boom. And I just leave. He showed up to the audition for this theater company, and then we clicked back up again when I was in community college. And then from there, we were tight in high school, you know what I'm saying? And I would see him as a recruiter coming back to the school, like for the Marines. And he was kind of the shittiest recruiter ever, because he would tell people like, yo, you don't want to join this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we clicked back up again in community college. And we just became tight. And like, this dude was like my theater, like he was my artistic partner, like my brethren in the arts, you know what I'm saying, from high school now to, like young adulthood. And from there, we just was mashing, and we got a business license, and we started D-Nick and Mel L Productions. We were writing plays, because I had quit the gospel theater company. I just couldn't stand the person. And Mel quit too. Like when I quit, he quit. And he was just like, yo, man, like, fuck it, we can do this ourselves. Look at that. Look what they doing. We can do it ourselves. Look at Tyler Perry. He ain't got no stars. And this is theater Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying? Not movie Tyler Perry. So we was just like, cool. And so that's what we was doing until he got recruited. Like, he got called into active duty. Like right after one of our productions wrapped, he got called into active duty for the Iraq War. So he was gone. My partner's gone, and then I'm just getting ready to. I get recruited to a school in Chicago. So it's like, all right, well, I got to make something for Mel I gotta have something when Mel come back. And then fucking hip hop, man. Like I got snatched up by hip hop. And the funny thing about Mel, he can sing 5-part harmony. Like he's a singer. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude, I'll never forget. Mega was like, yo, man, this dude is a human Swiss Army knife. You know what I'm saying? Like he can sing 5-part harmony, bass, and high, and it was, so he taught me about bar structure, but where the journey ended in Flint and started in Chicago, that's how we went. I got recruited to a school for theater, and then I went to Chicago.
So wow, I had no idea that Mel sing. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea. Like, yeah,
All those bass parts. If you listen to our records, if you listen to our records and you hear the bass, like the bass overtones, like in ad libs and stuff, that's all Mel.
Wow. So we talked about this. So it's funny because we spoke a couple weeks ago about the Fred Hampton joint, and we talked about 2 hours. I'm like, damn, we should be recording this. But I want to kind of bring it back to something we discussed. So what was it like? I mean, and we're gonna talk about you guys' style or whatever, but like originally, like what was it like trying to break into Chicago hip hop? So, Chicago, you got, your Crucial Conflicts, your Do or Dies and Twisted with the speed rap, you know what I'm saying? And then you got like the backpack, you know what I'm saying, that's sampling the soul samples and things of that nature. And then you got the gang, the gang affiliated rap, you know what I'm saying? And like you guys are like nothing that I've ever seen anywhere. So like what was it like trying to like carve out your space in Chicago during that time? But then like on a national level, right? So on a national, I'm thinking early 2000s, you got your Common, you know what I'm saying? In the mid 2000s, you got Kanye coming out of nowhere. And then later than that, you got Lupe, you know what I'm saying? So like, what was it like for y'all breaking into Chicago scene, specifically being a transplant? Because I can speak to that as well, but like being a transplant, doing something different.
I didn't go the rapper lane at all. Like I that was, when I came here, through college. And so like I didn't believe it would be. It was just like I met the first incarnation of the Microphone Misfit, a German from, that's where the name come. It was a dude from Germany named P Proper, still my brother to this day. And my little guy, young Drew, still my brother to this day. And we became the Microphone Misfits. And we were just freestyling because Drew was on his New York shit and was just like, let me show y'all what a cipher is. And it's like, man, dude. And I had those chops from like being an improv actor and being hip hop head. So I was, we was going, and then the Source Unsigned Hype Campus Combat Battle came to our school. And I made it to the final 3. But then in the school newspaper, they thought I was cheated. And the school newspaper wrote about me like, here's the true winner. So now I'm at campus like, oh, that's our guy. And then it was like, it was kind of a legend on school because the way they kind of like vic'd me was because I was beating everybody. It was like a last man standing battle type of thing. So they put me up against 10 rappers. You know what I'm saying? So it was D-Nick versus 10 rappers. You know what I'm saying? like so. And so like I won one round of that too, and then I lost the other round and I was gone, and then the crowd was cheering for me and they brought me back, and then I lost graciously, but then I became that guy. And another thing happened that was weird. Like 2 weeks after that, like literally 2 weeks after that, Naughty by Nature's performing at DePaul University, and like I gotta go up, like I get pulled, like Tretch is having an asthma attack or something, so Vinny's kind of covering for him, and they like, yo, we need who can rap. and my man Pete, you know, super buff, tall German dude, grabbed me and was just like, he can. And then he put me on stage, a battle to do. I won a freestyle. And like I got to hang out with them backstage, and they was like, put your demo in the box, I swear somebody will listen to it. And I was like, I don't have a demo. It was like, oh man, you slipping on your pimping. And when they left, I was just like, you know, there's a 2-week gap between this. I was just like, oh man, this is a calling from God. You know, Mel had came back from Iraq at this point. I called him because he's the only person I know who knows anything about studios. And I was like, yo, man, we got to record a demo. Like, it's a calling from God. I'm supposed to do this and da da da. And he was like, no, we're going to record a project. You know what I'm saying? And he was totally with it. And Ray was Pete Proper's roommate. And that's where I met Ray. Like, we all kind of cultivated there. And that's how it started. Where it made a name for myself in Chicago, I didn't go through. I would battle and go to the little battle stuff. Like there was a Cherry Red. There was this club out here called Cherry Red that this dude Prism, which stood for Puerto Ricanism. Prism used to host these Cherry Red battles. I would go to that and kind of win and go to the open mic stuff. But I was more interested in learning about the city, like really learning the city. And what I learned about the city of Chicago is hip hop came here through the dance. This is the original home of Soul Train. You know, Don Cornelius from here, you know, so I started, I was rapping in the B-boy jams and the breaking ciphers and the graffiti battles and, you know, at the punk rock shows. Like I would only go to the rappers for credibility stuff, but I wasn't interested in rapping in front of other rappers from Giddy Up, unless I was going there to prove something or smash motherfucker head in. But like other than that, like it was, I came in through the dance, you know, as a vocalist.
So as of right now, who are all the members of the Microphone Misfitz?
The current roster is Mel L, D-Nick, the Microphone Misfit, Ray of Light, Symbol of Elevation, Defects, you know, Powerhouse B-Boy, Jet 9, The Number of Completion, B-Boy, and Ken Solo, the avant-garde master movement.
So
as far as the group, our extended family is way bigger than that.
Yes. Y'all got a whole lot going on. So look, I'm not even gonna try to explain what y'all do. I'm gonna ask you later, but I'm not gonna try to explain. I'm gonna try to show you better. I can tell you. So I'm looking, and so I always see a lot of y'all stuff on social media, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't have time to go through my Facebook. So I know this video is a little bit old, but it's very succinct. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? Getting to my point, here's y'all performing at Sub T where I rock with y'all before or what have you. So for the people out here wondering exactly what the Microphone Misfits do, this is it right here.
Help me out, everybody, help me out. When I say grow, y'all say rise. Grow, grow. When I say grow, y'all say rise. Grow, 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 rise. What up, Pete? Who would have thought that people was such a humble beginner with a story the expected ever since I'm going with a little bit of cutting and sentiment in the mixing and culture and civilized and everything with a minute. We're living in the wind and the people of the city. I love somebody for what we're living in. Expressing the want, something expressing the want. We're living in the old world order. I'm control. Tell me, gearing up. Warriors in the war, you made it up. Representing expression with no fluid expression is how we live in the flesh. There's no calling the session and dedicated experience because of the rest. Punches a weapon, all you need to we can learn all night. What we doing, G? Now we're fighting the gun, fighting the person, and eternally fight the fight. And 80% is the powerful style, a disrespect. What else? Come with the L side, you go in the bomb right after the couch. So he makes the motherfucking noise! Yeah, so you see double clapping, you got to ride with the lyrical clapping. Yeah, y'all. You think we're gonna get it cracking? When you ride through the full line. There's no relaxing. Black man, make sure you see double clapping. You got to ride with the lyrical clapping.
So being as a person who saw you guys live, bro.
Yeah, you saw full team.
So I saw y'all at the Elbow Room the first time, and you know it wasn't that type of show, and you know what I'm saying, the space wasn't that big. When I saw y'all at Sub T's, this was literally your element. I was out of my element. Y'all was in y'all's element because it was a fundraiser for Power B-Boy School. You know what I'm saying?
Power Star Radio, Radio.
Well, Power Star Radio, whatever. But raising money for, like, no, it was a B-Boy show raising money for Power Star Radio, something like that, right? What was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Power Star was a fundraiser for.
So y'all, when I say just watching they set break dancing, I was exhausted just watching. Like it was like the Rapture, like the Rapture video, the KRS-One, the step into. That's what it was like the whole night. It was amazing. And so like seeing y'all's live set, like like I said, I saw it the first time. I saw it the first time at Elbow Room, but then I saw the full set at Sub T's in y'all's element. It was amazing. So for the uninitiated, and even then, that was just one dancer. Like when I saw y'all, Ray was dancing too, and y'all might have had two other dancers. Y'all had the flags out. So for the people who are the uninitiated and they have not seen the full breadth of what the Microphone Misfitz do, how would you describe y'all's style?
Man, okay, so what we do is a secret sauce. Mel gonna be like, man, why you telling everybody? What we do is we bring the jam to the concert. And there's a difference between a hip hop jam and a rap concert. We bring the jam to the concert. We turn the concert into a jam. And at a jam, it's about people moving, and it's a full sensory experience, and just me as a I got my degree in directing and playwriting. So for me, it's just like, yo, man, it's there's no entertainers anymore. So it's like, well, let's do it as an outfit, as as a crew. Let's have the dancers, get equal billing with the MCs or the rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not D-Nick, and it's, I'm just the artistic director and the lead vocalist. It's them. You know what I'm saying? And we're more like a play or a production, honestly, because if I'm the lead, their jet defects and or solo are the example. Mel is the sonic backdrop and the muscle, and Ray is the audience POV character. Don't nobody want to be fucking Batman. They want to be Robin. Ray is our Robin. Like he, you know what I'm saying? Like Batman gotta, you know, he got a burden. He gotta, you know, but Robin get to ride in the, you know, in the Batmobile, and you know, eventually become Nightwing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, and that was the thing too. Like, as you know, I was learning. You know, I teach hip hop, like you know what I'm saying? So, but I was seeing it from crowds. I was like, man, these people don't know how to enjoy hip hop. They don't know how to listen to it. They don't know how to experience it. So it's just like, well, we gotta show them. And it's just like, okay, we'll get. That's where Solo kind of came in. Solo was like dancing at shows. You know what I'm saying? He was mutual friend. Like all of the b-boys in Microphone Misfitz come from a b-boy crew called Awesome Style Connection, which Brave Monk, who was the leader of Awesome Style Connection, was my brother. We traveled the world together. So like, you know, Solo would come to our shows in our early like kind of formation of what we will eventually become, and he would be dancing in the crowd, and this fucker was making up choreography in the crowd to our music, and I was like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying, come up on stage and put a shirt on, and you know, and then, you know, later Jet, and then later Defects. You know, so that's, you know, so it's that, but that's where it really is. Like, you know, the dancers are the example. Mel is a muscle in the sonic backdrop, and he's more than a DJ. Like he'll tell you, if you ask him what he doing in Fitz, he'll say, "My job is to do whatever needs to be done." That's what
I've heard him say that before.
And he was like, "You need me to rap, I'll rap. You need me to sing, I'll sing. You need me to do ad libs, I'll do ad libs. You need me to do a character voice, I'll do a character voice. You need me to go and collect the money, I'll go collect the money." So he's you know, like, because he has stage management background. You know, Ray, you can't really put what Ray does in any. There's no tangible titles for, like, I mean, loosely we'll say hype man or second MC, but that's not even fully encompassing the way he do. Like I remember, I tell the story. I remember a promoter felt the way, like a promoter thought that I ain't like him. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't drink and I don't smoke. You know, I know Rasta that don't drink and don't smoke, and he was and you know, he was like, man, I don't think D-Nick likes me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, because he was smoking with Ray, and Ray was like, "No, man, D-Nick love you. You one of the coolest promoters and da da da." And he was like, "But every time I offer him a drink, he always says, 'No, I'm cool.' Or I ask him to smoke. I'm like, 'No, I'm cool.' He's like, 'No, I'm cool.' And Ray was like, 'Oh yeah, man, he just don't do that.' He's like, 'For real?' He's like, 'Yeah, he just don't do that.' He's like, 'So he really like me?' You know, obviously this is a white promoter. He's like, 'He really like?' He's like, 'Yeah, man, cool.' And you know, he come over to me. I didn't know they had this conversation. He come over to me like, everything all right? I was like, yeah, man, it's cool, man. He's like, you having a good time? I was like, yeah, man, we love coming out here. And this fucker just hugged me like, I was, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And then he just walked off. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And Ray was like, oh, man, he didn't think you liked him. But, you know, I told him, you just don't drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Ray do that everywhere. Like, he's that guy everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, you know, you can't really put that in a bottle or example. You just kind of, you know, give it parameters so it don't spin out of control. But
man,
yeah,
big
man.
shout out to Ray, man. When I the last time I came and stayed, you picked me up from the airport, I want to say, and and you picked me up from the airport, and we went and got something to eat. Hey, what's that spot you always take me to? That's right from your house, the pizza spot.
Yeah, dang. Why do I? So, dang. Why am I tweaking on the name of that spot, man?
It ain't. It's all with the G, huh? It's not Jared Baldis, huh?
Not Giordano's. It's
Giordano's. It is Giordano's. Is that it?
No,
is
it's not. It's not Giordano's. Oh man, Guerrero's.
Guerrero's, whatever. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you every time you run me by there, but I ended up staying at Ray's house, you know what I'm saying, because he had a little more space. So he held me down, you know what I'm saying. I remember we walked to the store, and like I'm in the hood of Chicago, bro. And like the hood is different. We was walking, and like people was like open air selling drugs like The Wire outside, like Amsterdam. Like people was like yo, like every corner people was selling dope. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And I was just like, this is a little different, you know, because like, bro, in the South it's hot, bro. So we ain't really walking like that. You know what I'm saying? So we're not walking no 2 miles to get no food. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a fat dude out here, and it's like, but then so like I'm fat, so I'm sweating, but it's June and it's still like 75 degrees, which is, I don't know what that is, because in June it's 110. So it's like it's a breeze outside. And it was just an interesting situation, man. So you know what I'm saying? But big shout out to Chi-Town. So look, you mentioned, and so I want to show something real quick, but you mentioned Rastafarianism. So okay, you know what? I want to watch this video first, and I'm gonna get back to that. So here's something else that I think that y'all do really, really well as far as y'all's presentation, man. Just added something different and dope, and I appreciate y'all's creativity. So this is a song called Race Against Time. It's a video from their last album, Escape from Babylon Volume 4. This is dope, y'all.
Well, this is actually from the Midwest Anime EP. This is from the Midwest Anime EP. So it's right after Escape from Babylon Volume 4. It was something different. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, cool.
What that is.
I got my timelines mixed up. Yeah, but this is dope, y'all. So for the people watching, y'all enjoy it.
Like Fred Lamont and Rollo, confused by the bravado of the desperado. Flint, Michigan, all the way to Chicago. Moving at a pace that you humans can't trace. Made you a play, but you can only have a taste. I'm going in the flash to avoid all the traps. After 35 years, I think I got this in the bag. Indeed, cut from a rare breed. Many misread and proceed to mislead. Gotta be aware of lies and force feed. The pathway to truth is a path to impede. On the passenger side, just had to roll my weed. Now to switch seats, deep past the keys. I got this need for speed while I blow these trees. Please don't judge me on how I like to get free. Look at you all in your field. That's it, they mad cause we on their heels. Recommend you respect the grind. You racing against me, I'm racing against time. Look at you all in your field. That's envy, they mad cause we on their heels. Recommend you respect the grind. You racing against me, I'm racing against time. Sidestep a hater as a charge for my goal. On the freeway, no need to pay a toll. Gotta go, let everybody know the time is now, we can't wait no more. Yo, give shape to the shapeless, reveal the naked truth for others you can't face it. Running a marathon, best way is to pace it. Problems are opportunities, so you better embrace it. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Pedal to the metal, trying to learn my people how to make it in the ghetto. Then out the ghetto, still be successful, but never in your life do you forget your kinfolk. Handle this the way I intended. Crude, rude, lewd, and honor when you're offended. Give it the mail, a jigger, and blend it. Nickel on trial, it fits on my co-defendants. Look at you all in your field. That's envy, they mad, cause we on their heels. Recommend you respect the grind. You racing against me, I'm racing against time. Look at you all in your field. That's envy, they mad cause we on their heels. Recommend you respect the grind. You racing against me, I'm racing against time.
So, dope. Just like y'all make everything about what y'all do is super entertaining. Like you cannot be bored. You know what I'm saying? From the live show You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
From you know what I'm saying, to your rollout and your presentation, the way you do your arts and your graphics. You got a dope, you know what I'm saying, comic book, anime, you know, theme, commercial, speed racer, you know what I'm saying? But the thing I like about it is, even though you have this cartoon and even though y'all breakdancing, if you're listening, the content is still heavy. There's still a lot of conscious raps here, right? So I'm looking at your screen for people watching at home. You know what I'm saying? He got the Pan African flag behind him. He got the Rastafari ring on, African ring on his hand. Right. You know what I'm saying? And they wave the Rastafarian flag. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so explain to the people, like, you know, in terms of like how much, like, you know, anime and comics, as well as like Pan-Africanism and Rastafarianism have influenced, you know what I'm saying, content-wise presentation for the musical, for the, I always mess up and say the musical misfits, my bad. The microphone misfits. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Man, that's okay. Let me see. So the man, I'm trying to see what the answer for. Okay, so the content, I'll stick with the content. As long as I'll never forget, we did a show once and we opened for Shirley King, BB King's daughter, and the house band was warming up the instruments, and this drummer was like, her drummer was pissed. He was an old school cat, and he was just like, God damn, I hate when white boys play the blues. The point of the blues ain't to give you the goddamn blues. It's the point of the blues is to use the blues to get you out the blues. Damn. And like that's he was going off, but that stuck with me, you know. Like I felt that anyway before him, but that stuck with me. I don't even remember the brother's name. I just remember he was a drummer for Shirley King, you know, daughter of blues, and so I don't personally think that darker. I want to rap about what I want to rap about, which is the upliftment of my people. You know what I'm saying? And like getting us to do better, or my problems, or any of that. But I don't want to depress nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's music. I want it to be fun. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a knock on like anybody else, but that just for me, like it'll bring me down. And I know I want to play to my strengths. You know, my strengths is you know, I know how to direct. Like I went to school for this shit. So, you know, and I was doing this before I went to school with it. So I'm like, man, you know, I don't like the business of theater anymore. I hated that shit since college. You know, I got out of that business, but you know, and I worked in theaters in Chicago for like 7 years, but my status as an MC was rising, you know, and the group was rising. So when I made my exit and got to transfer that 100% into hip hop, that's where it was. So I just feel like that's the best backdrop for the content. Like I like it when it mismatches. Like if I'm gonna rap about depressing shit, I need it to be fucking fun. You know what I'm saying? So it's not preachy. Right. You know? And like to, you know, call back to what my grandfather told me, like, boy, if you're gonna like, you know, if you're gonna be into that stuff, you better figure out a way to make some money off of it. And I grew up, I love comic books. I love, you know, cartoons and all of that shit. So I'm like, man, we you know, it was like, and I'm a writer, I'm a playwright. You know, I'm not working in theater no more, but that don't mean I gotta not write. So I write the comic books. And that's even doper because that's almost like writing a movie with an unlimited budget. You know what I'm saying? It could be as big as I want. In Escape from Babylon Volume 4, I sent the Microphone Misfitz and the old school group Nucleus to outer space. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
go wherever you want to go with
my
it.
Movie, you know. yeah, so we got this opportunity. I want to say that was even Megaran's like comic book debut. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
So like it was definitely Nucleus's comic book debut. And these is like pioneers. You know what I'm saying? So it was, I was afforded these blessings, so I'm not finna waste them, use them. We gotta like the Fitz got rules, like when people be like, man, how y'all show so this and how and y'all and anybody to be around us, they'll know we silly as shit. And it's like, how do they get anything done? How do they have such a strategic show and they so goofy? It's like because we got rules, and our rule is, our content rules is utilize a sense of humor, views, passions, and pains. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Utilize a sense of humor, views, passion, and pains while the blood of indigenous kings flow in my veins. You know what I'm saying? Catch me in the line of fire, I exist in the flames. In the battle, I'll leave nothing but your bloody remains.
So
You
wait,
know what I'm saying?
you say humor, views, passion, and pain.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's dope.
Like that's our
dope.
That's our content. That's our content rules. We got stage rules. You know what I'm saying? Like I can, because you got to be very well. I can say this. Mel be like, man, don't be giving away the secret. But I used to. We don't do any song without. We don't. Well, no. In a set, we're only allowed one song without a signature movement. It could be more. Songs have more signature movement, but only one song in a set is allowed without a signature movement. And and we have to pause. We have to pose every like 3 seconds. You know, and we have to make it not look like we're posing in the middle of a rap, but we have to pose every 3 seconds.
Okay. So no, that's
because for pictures, like, so for pictures, if the photographer is taking pictures, because our first stream of shows, people were like, man, they're incredible, but our pictures were coming out shitty. Like, it was always a blur, a red, gold, and green blur. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. So that's our rules for the. And the Rastafari thing too. I don't want to skip over that question because that's a very important question. But that goes into our views and our passion and pains. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it all connects. The flag. 2 things about the flag. Superficially, it makes us look bigger if we're performing with bands. Because if you're on a ginormous stage with 5-piece bands and it's just 4 to 6 misfits, like that includes the DJ. It just looks like God. Just it is what it is. So it's like the flag takes up more space. So that's the superficial physical thing. The performance wise, the spiritual part of it is we're blessing the crowd. Like we're sending good vibrations to the crowd. So the red, gold, and green is covering like the crowd and waving to the crowd. Like, so it's okay to heed this. You know what I'm saying? And particularly, I'm not holding the flag. The flag is being held by the audience POV character, the everyman, like the funny one, the fun stoner of the group. So like you can be righteous too, because we got the silly motherfucker with the flag. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Man, I love it. I'm saying, like, I've seen it and I enjoy it, but I love hearing the side of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love how you look at yourself as a playwright and how you bring that into hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's super dope. And like I told you, man, like I say this, man, of course you have your things you want to keep in-house, but I don't think you got to worry about nobody stealing y'all shit. You can't nobody do what y'all do, man. Y'all are one. For real, like y'all, and it's like when people ask me about y'all, at first I was like, they do old school. Like, nah, they don't do old school. I say they make hip hop for b-boys. Like they rap over break beats, which is old school. You know what I'm saying? It's where the foundation of the culture comes from in that particular era. You know what I'm saying? Rapping over break beats. I like, nah, this shit is very emergent. You know what I'm saying? Because like they're not doing they're not rapping like Melly Mel talking about her. Like, no, this is like this is and it's like if anything, it's just like 10 years ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's like y'all don't think. No, I sincerely mean that, bro. Like y'all, this is something completely. Y'all rapping in 2000. You know what I'm saying? 35 already, bro. Like this is like y'all presentation. And this is just everything that y'all do with it. China. So let's do this. Let's go to China real quick, right? So one of the things on my bucket list. One of the things on my bucket list is to perform in overseas, and I had the opportunity before to not go to perform outside the country. I'm optimistic as a motherfucker as a rapper, you know what I mean? But I was supposed to go to Canada before, but Corona said different or what have you. So I'm just y'all seen the performance. I'm just gonna have this playing in the background or whatever. But my question to you is, how the hell do y'all Negroes get to tour and rap in China in a place where there's a ban on rap music? And what was the experience like?
I'll answer the second question first. The experience, I felt like a bum that won $1 million. Like,
damn.
Like it was nothing. It was nothing. It was every rap fantasy that we ever have as artists, where you rocking for millions of people. It was every rap fantasy like come to life. Minus I'm talking about just as the art form, because some people got rap fantasies about the groupies and all that other kind of
right.
But like just in terms of the craft, it was that rap fantasy come to life. We had never been there, you know what I'm saying, and these people, like 1,000 people, like knew us, knew the music, and they man, it was intense. Like I get chills every time I think about it. How we got over there is, so I teach hip hop, and I was doing these lectures at NIU, Northern Illinois University. It was me and two other misfits. Usually it was Jet or Defects, and Defects was one that came it's in there in the red, like, so usually two other misfits. And so I would do a workshop, and my lectures ain't boring lectures, whatever. Like, we go through history and all that stuff, but then it's like, I'm getting you on your feet. We finna do some writing exercises and all this kind of stuff. So, we hit it. You know what I'm saying? And so for 5 years, I was doing these lectures and these workshops. So immigrants from China would come to DeKalb, like outside of Chicago, to hear me speak and all of this type of stuff, and then do a workshop, and then we would do a dance workshop, we would do writing and art workshop, we do an all elemental workshop, and then my lecture was called Hip Hop for Social Change. And so we do that. And I talked NIU and the China, it was a collaboration between NIU and the Chinese leadership department. I talked them into buying our album in bulk and giving it to them. So they would buy the comic book and the music, because our music comes inside of a comic book. So They would buy it in bulk and give it to them. So I ain't even selling it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving it to them because it's prepaid.
Mm.
So every lecture / workshop had about 30 to 50 people in it of Chinese immigrant exchange students, only in the United States for 2 weeks. So, and every time it's a different group of 30 to 50 Chinese exchange students. So when they, and I'm doing this 3 to 5 times a year for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So, you do the math. It's a bunch of people in mainland China with our books and our music over a 5-year span. And we were supposed to go out there 1 year, and that's when hip hop got banned. And so we was defeated. We couldn't go out there. And the last lecture and workshop before this, when I did it again, the promoter, who was the head of this entire music festival, came to that excursion with him just to meet me. He didn't have nothing to do with the school or anything with these Chinese college students. He was just like, "There's a man for you." And I don't really know because he don't speak that good at English. So he came out there and he was just like, "Man, when we had lunch or whatever, he was just like, you sit with me, you sit with me." So me and Defects sat with him, and he was writing our email and all of this type of stuff. And he was like, how many of you is that? And he was writing all this stuff down. And then we leave the workshop and lecture, and we go on to do a show. We going to meet up with the other brothers in Fitz to do a show. And me and Defects are riding back, and he was like, "Yo, man, you think that dude will get us to China?" I was like, "Man, they always say that. You know what I'm saying? They want us to come to China. They always say that." I ain't think nothing of it. That was on a Friday. On that Saturday, I got the email, like, "You are hereby invited to the festival, telecommunications festival in Chongqing. How many would be in your team accompanying you?" And so the Misfits that had passports, we went to the Chinese consulate, got our visas, and they sent us our official invites from the embassy, or from the government, and we went to handle all of that, and we was out there. We didn't know nothing of nothing. We had one person out there that kind of told us, and she kind of coordinated and helped us like book more stuff while we was out there, because we was only out there for 7 days. But all our itinerary was in Cantonese. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
So we didn't know what none of this stuff was. We literally went out there on faith, and big up to my brothers, man. It's like, "Hey, man, we trust you. You say we going, we going." Our cameraman, and the Fitz, like, we all went out there. And I remember calling our cameraman Drew, because we let him do a song in between the set. And it was a crazy thing building up to, like, none of us believed it was gonna happen until we was over there. We just couldn't believe it. Like, we were just like, "Man, something's gonna get in the way."
I remember you like kind of hit. I remember when I first announced that y'all was going, I like, "China, bro." You was just kind of like, "We'll see." I don't so when you say even you was like, "Man," even when I asked you about it, you seemed like you was in disbelief. You know what I'm saying? So like, so what else besides China have you guys been overseas?
Canada. We've done Sarnia and Toronto. We did Sarnia on our own, and then Mega. We did Toronto with Mega, and then I went to Algeria, North Africa, and Morocco with this old collective, not old, but this collective and group that I was a part of called FEW, you know, so back in 2010. So, and I've been, but like in terms of rocking, yeah, like Canada, you know, China and Africa.
So what's
Or
it what's
in
it
or
like, man? Like what's it like? What's it like to go to a different country and have people respond to what you're saying, and or make it even better, have people know what you're saying. Like they're responding to what you're saying, but they know the words. It's some, especially in places where they speak different languages, man. What's that feel like?
I'll never forget when I did the show in Algeria. Um, we were in the city of Oran, and you know, no, we were in Algiers. We were in the capital, Algiers, and there was a cat. His name was B-Boy Robot. He was a dancer, and the embassy rep, who was like our tour manager, road manager, she, you know, she had asked us not to use any slang, because it's, you know, it's hard for her to kind of translate. And, you know, Brave Monk, who is a breakdancer, b-boy,
I met
where
Brave Monk
from,
at SUPTs. I met him, and we've
yeah,
actually
yeah,
stayed in contact. He knew some dancers down here in Baton Rouge, and I've linked him up. So big shout out to Brave Monk.
yeah, Brave Monk. He's world renowned, and all of the Misfit dancers come from Awesome Style Connection, his crew. So like, you know, that's what, like, that was where me and Brave, one of the places me and Brave traveled. And so they were working on some choreography, and he was like, "Oh, that's dope." And Robot was like, "Dope, funky, fresh, deaf, in the place to be, ill, raw, wicked, sick." Like he just started shouting out all these slang terms, and he was just like, I don't speak English. I only speak hip hop." And I was like, "Whoa," you know what I'm saying? So then we started pulling to just have regular conversations with a lot of these cats. Like, you know, we were kind of, we had to pull, like they knew that was in 2010. So they knew all the slang from 2008 up to the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So we had to find slang words to say what we were talking about, because that's how they would know. That's how we could have a conversation without the interpreter. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And I,
crazy.
you know, there was,
Yo, I got these
I met
funky
some
fresh
cats.
kicks. I got these funky fresh kicks. You know, like yeah, I damn, you gotta talk straight up. Yo, that's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
like we were pulling, you know what I'm saying? It was like, what like, yeah, like that. Like you can't say, yeah, you can, if you say that, he would have got it. He would be like, "Oh, fucking fresh kick, yeah." Like, you know. So that was a lesson that I learned about that, like, wow, how far this stuff travels and can go. Um, just being humble, man, like, you know, being understanding, you know, understanding to eat the cost, like, you know, because the thing that we had to submit every lyric we would ever perform on the stage to the Chinese government before we could perform. They had to approve every song, because they're a communist country. You know, I'd never been in a communist country. I'm just a kid from Flint, man. So it was like it was wild, man. But it was dope, man. And I understood so much about the world. You know, I understood, like, just world trip. Like it made my universe shrink. It made my understanding kind of grow. And, you know, it put me through an emotional, like, North Africa put me through an emotional turmoil when I came back. And so, like, I had an existential crisis when I came back, because I remember being on a train with my US Embassy folder and like these newspaper clippings. Like, I had a bodyguard in North Africa. You know what I'm saying? Because people like, they didn't want me to get kidnapped. And people were loving me in Algeria and Oran. So to go from having a bodyguard staying in 5-star hotels to coming back, you know what I'm saying, where you're riding the train and nobody gives a fuck about who you are. I really went through an existential crisis. So when we, fast forward, when we doing China, I was like, yo, fellas, man, I think it's gonna be different, if y'all need any help, like adjusting, coming back, like call me, like for real, call me, because we a group, so we an indie group, and like I know, you be staying at people's houses. Promoter ain't, if the promoter do bless you with a hotel, all you motherfuckers gotta share that hotel room, so it's like 5 to 6 people in a hotel room. That was like the first tour we had ever been on where they gave every one of us our own room.
Damn. Like, damn.
I was like, we made it. Like, I was in disbelief. If you look at, like, you show part 2, if you look at part 1, like, you can almost see my disbelief. I'm not, I don't even say nothing. I start to say something, and I just, because I was stuck. I'd never been stuck before. I was just like, is this real? Ray was different. Ray was on 10. He was just like, and he had learned some of the phrases, like how to say make some noise in Cantonese. You know what I'm saying? Like how to say, are you having fun yet? Are you having are you having a good time? Like Outchea, and so Ray learned all that stuff. We learned how to say, you're awesome, which is UP. You know what I'm saying? So like, and they were just embracing, man, and it was, like I said, I felt like a bum winning $1 million. That's how I felt.
That is like, that's incredible. Shout out to Ray, man. Look, that's what you doing your motherfucking job, bro. You a hype man, and you learn how to hype shit up, and they fucking in Cantonese. Y'all should have gave him a raise. He on this motherfucking job. Let's I'm gonna transition to one more question I got. So you said, you've been doing it much longer than me, and I've actually called you asking for advice, man. You say you a hip hop educator. You know what I'm saying? You say you've done lectures at colleges and things of that nature. I probably got about a good about 1.5 years under my belt. You've been doing this much longer than me. My question to you, well, I guess my statement to you, explain how being an educator plays an important role in your purpose as an artist, and also speak to what our generation, because we're about the same age, speak to what our generation can do to push the culture forward via the youth.
To push the culture forward via the youth, just empower them. Don't be condescending, and remember that you're a student too. Like, you're learning. Like, I always tell my students, like, man, they call me your teacher, but I ain't your fucking teacher. I don't say fucking, but I ain't your teacher. I'm a guide. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just guiding you to the greatness that you already are. You're all, you don't need to be me. You are to be better than me. If you just me, that's neutral. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, like, nah. So for me, it's, so there's that, as and like, I stay eternally a student, and where it more speaks to my purpose as a man. Like, I feel blessed, and sometimes personally I feel guilty about being blessed. I feel like I have to pay it forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandparents took me in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where I'd be if I ain't had them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't you know, and that, you know, and it was different. Like I was taken in, but you know, so I still by my grandparents, so I still got to know, I still got to hang out and see my mom every day. It wasn't like I was taken in and then it was like I'm estranged from my mother. I seen my mom every day. My mom had a big hand in raising me, but I ain't live with her. You know what I'm saying? My father, you know, they never disrespected my father. You know, my father was a you know addict. He was a junkie. You know what I'm saying? Now he's a fucking psychotherapist. Like I'm proud of this dude. Like I ain't got, but I didn't grow up hating that man. You know what I'm saying? Like me and him are tight. I joke all the time, like you my spirit animal, dude. Cause I'm super proud of that dude. Like, and we are fucking tight because my grandparents didn't raise me to hate him. You know what I'm saying? They were like the first teachers. Like I said, like I understood what, like my house is like a flop house. Everybody that fuck up get to come live with us. You know what I'm saying? And get on their feet. And it was, you know, like I seen it in real time. Like my grandma, you know, rest his soul, he used to, you know, he used to be like, I don't know where he got all that stuff from. Like people like, where people, you know, people like, man, where you're activists or were your parents activists or anything? And he was, I was like, it'd be like, nah, they were just regular country folk. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather was like, I don't know where that boy got all that stuff from. But like, because they didn't understand that we got it from you. You know, I got it from you, the gems that, you know, and subtlety. You ain't gotta hit stuff, hammer stuff over the head with type of stuff. Like I appreciate the gangsters. Like I'm, you know, I remember my cousin, when I was a little boy, my cousin was like, I wanted to go to the store with him, and he was like, nah, you can't go store with me. I was like, why? He's like, you can't go to the store with me unless you can fight. I was like, I can't fight. He was like, no, you can't go to the store with me unless you can fight motherfucker my size. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, you know, because I'm a little kid, so I can't go to the store. Then, you know what I'm saying? You know, you fast forward, you know, I'm 15. They going to the mall, and it's like, oh man, I'm gonna pick up these shoes. No, you can't go to the mall with me. Why I can't go to the mall with you? Like, can't go to the mall with me unless you're gonna bust your gun. You know, like I'm like, what? I'm young, I'm high head. I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know, but that was him protecting me. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be around this. You know what I'm saying? You know, I learn, you know, learn to fight, you know, because people jump you and beat you up. And like, you know, my cousin was just like, you know, I'm like, man, these dudes rough me up and all this. He's like, and I'm telling him, he was like, listen, man, unless you want them to go to sleep, don't tell me about it. Fight your own battle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm not the dude, you know, and like I was, you know, they look after me. I was blessed, like to, you know, to run. Like I didn't, Mel was just a random dude in my high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I built my first business with this cat. You know what I'm saying? Ray was my first DJ's roommate. You know what I'm saying? And he was this zany dude in college that would come to all of the rap battles and be in the crowd and be like, yo, kill him. Like he was hyping me from then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I was blessed that these these five guys believe in a vision that I have and they trust me. They were all strong motherfucking men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you know, we got families and all. So like I have to. I'm a transplant. So it's like, man, I can't come here and not add to it. Like I live in the neighborhood that I teach at. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And Chicago got a rich history and I love this city. You know what I'm saying? So it's like yeah, man, like part of it for me as a man, I feel I sometimes feel guilty. You know what I'm saying? My loved ones be like, nah, man, you shouldn't feel guilty about being blessed and being, you know, all this stuff, but I do. And you know, I don't, it's not a burden. I just use it to, you know, keep me going forward. Like I gotta, you know, like I've had people be like, yo, man, I'm an ill DJ, you know, you should let me DJ for the microphone. Nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Cause you ain't gonna ride like Mel gonna ride. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Oh man, this person always, fucking like I don't care. Like I don't care if one member is always fucking up. Like they got my back. You know what I'm saying? We'll argue and chastise each other like within our family discussions. And we're brutal. But at the end of the day, like them is my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like they kids know mine and I know, they spouses and all of this type of stuff. Like we are legit a family, man. So dysfunctional and all. So like, yeah, man.
I mean,
so
you
that's
the misfits. You the misfits, so you gotta have some
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, we don't fit in anywhere except on stage. Sometimes not even with each other.
Right. So look, man, we had about an hour and a half. So I always love to give people on the podcast an opportunity to promote what they got going on. So I messed up. So okay, we got the website, which is the Microphone Misfitz. The Misfitz is spelled with a Z.com. You got all the different they got tabs for music, they got the video tabs, they got the comic books, they got the videos, they got everything on their website. Yep, Misfitz clothing. Boom. They got the clothing, got the gear.
Yes.
And also, man, I'm a Bandcamp guy. You know what I'm saying? So they also got the Bandcamp page, which has all their music. Man, I love y'all's artwork, bro. I really do. It's really dope. Like,
thank you.
It's really, really dope, man. And then they got their merch tab.
And big up as we work with Daryl Spicy, Damian Hampton. Yeah, man. You get the physical comic books like that.
Yeah. Daryl Spicy is an incredible name.
Spicy actually did the art. That's his real name. That's his real name. That's his government name. He actually did the artwork for the Million Man March too.
Wow. So look, so like they don't just sell CDs, y'all. You get a full comic book. A full comic book, man. You get a full comic book. So yeah, man. And so like I said, if you were a comic book lover, you know what I'm saying? If you like, if you a Blurred, you know what I'm saying? Have you met my man Keith Cooper Blurdish? I think I'm trying to introduce y'all before. Okay.
Yes, we did.
Okay, cool,
good brother too.
Yeah, man, that's my guy, man. I consider myself Blurred adjacent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily, but I'm around people. My kids have really gotten into like anime, and so I'm slow. I've been trying to watch anime with them. It's just, man, trying to read the subtitles and everything is so damn dramatic. I'd be like, bruh, like my blood, everything is just like he's looking up. Like, hold on, it's just a lot going on. So, but my kids are in it, so as a good dad, I gotta check into it. Where can we find you on social media?
Instagram, Mike Misfitz, Facebook, the Microphone Misfitz, Twitter the same thing. Or if you go to the website, we have the tabs that'll link you straight to the to all our social media stuff.
Cool.
So yeah, so it's the microphonemisfitz.com, the microphonemisfitz.com. That's THEMICROPHONEMISFITZ, the Microphone Misfitz. Who else could it be?
Hey, yes indeed. Good brother. It's been a long time coming. Like I would say probably about every other month we catch up. We had these long conversations. Like we talked about 2 hours the other day. Like, man, I should be recording this. You know what I'm saying? Look forward. Somebody actually hit me up today saying like, yo, when the world opens back up, we gotta get you to Chicago. I was like, I think his name is Max Villarreal. You know Max Villarreal?
I think I do. I'm trying to.
He hit me. I mean, it was just on the thread. I posted something else. He was like, yo, when the world opens back up. And also too, I want to shout you out too, man. You the one that got me linked up with Cool Out Chris. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's my brother.
Who we ended up working together. We actually talked about doing a full project together, man. I'm just ADHD as a motherfucker. I got a whole EP's worth of music written. I just haven't recorded yet because Like I really like. I don't like recording. I really don't like. That's my least. And I have 15 projects. You know what I'm saying? But that's my least favorite part of rapping is recording. You know what I'm saying? So
that's funny.
Whenever I do record, it's like I'm really, really inspired to do so. So I could write something, but it's just gonna sit if I'm not really inspired to go to the studio, right? So it is just what I was writing was very specific to that time. So you know, you might hear some of the songs, like the song that we did together, Black Liberation Theology. It was originally supposed to be the lead single from that project, or whatever. But when I was re-releasing In Search of the Black Messiah, content-wise, it fit so well. And so I asked him for permission. I'm like, yo, can I put this on here? And he gave me the blessing to put it on the deluxe edition or whatever. So big shout out to Cool Out Chris. Big shout out to Mike Logic. Who else I know from the crew? Who I met. Big shout out to Bob Rock, Chicago Coffee Breaks.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to my guy T-Rex. T-Rex, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who else am I forgetting? It's that one nigga I don't like. I ain't gonna say his name, but I ain't gonna do that. But yeah, this is Marcel P. Black. This is the Really Outchea Podcast.
Thank you so much, brother.
Man, look, like I said, it was a long time coming, man. It's always like I said this last time with Mega Ran, bro. It's just like you know, it's certain people that you might not see once or twice a year, but when you see them, it's a connection because this independent circuit is a tribe. You know what I'm saying? We be in the same tribe. So it's just a natural connection. And you know, there's so many degrees of separation, and it feels like we've known each other for a long time. So a conversation with you, a build a session with you was always a pleasure. And I didn't do a good job before, and I need to do this now. Y'all make sure y'all go to YouTube and subscribe to Marcel P. Black. You know what I'm saying? I was promoting the website and forgetting to promote my YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? So MarcelPBlack.com. Go to YouTube. Scoot over, people can see. Hold up, which way is it? Yeah, there you go. YouTube, Marcel P. Black. This is the Really Outchea Podcast. I love my hobby, freedom.